Is Laysara Summit Kingdom a unique and interesting twist on the city builder genre? Or did they literally and figuratively take the ground out from under you to force you to contort your city onto some silly platforms? Watch on and find out. My name is Thoraxe, and this is Strategy for Busy People. If you've got a few minutes, I'll tell you what to play. I have had my eye on Laysara Summit Kingdom from Quite OK Games for a while, so when it surprise dropped into early access, I immediately jumped on it. I put about 6.5 hours into it so I could tell you what I think. So, what do I think? Quite OK Games describes Laysara as, quote unquote, inspired by the different cultures of the Himalayas. You can definitely get that feel right from the start. Although the somewhat played out, our old place got wrecked, so we have to go and find a new place trope is the basis for the game, Laysara does attempt to bring a unique twist by forcing you to go up. You see, the cities you build in Laysara are constructed right on the side of a mountain, quite near to the peak. This results in several different levels distributed across smallish plateaus, which form the basis of your new city construction endeavor. And, because you're building up near the mountaintops, you have to contend with avalanches, but we'll come back to that later. A lot of your traditional city builders focus on different types of structures related to zoning. City Skylines, SimCity, and many others focus on residential, commercial, and industrial properties. Laysara Summit Kingdom, on the other hand, has 4 different types of housing. You have lowlanders who do the grunt work and low-skilled labor. You have artisans who perform more of the educated and detailed work. You have monks who are your scholars and who help both raise your technology level and provide spiritual enlightenment. And lastly, you have yaks. Yes, yaks. They are a key participant in your workforce, but also produce milk and wool for you. The starter tutorial does a good job of introducing you to the basic game mechanics of living on the mountain. Then you are unleashed on the rest of the mountain range to choose from various scenarios. Quite OK Games claims that your different cities on the mountain will be able to interact with one another via trade, but that has not yet been implemented in the early access. Each of the inhabitant types is required to make the various production and support facilities function. Your lowlanders do farming and hauling tasks, and low-level production of things like eggs and cheese. Artisans can do more important things, such as turning copper ore into refined copper, which is then turned into utensils that everyone wants. Ultimately, each of the inhabitant types has unique requirements for goods and services that they want to see before their abodes can be upgraded to the next higher level. Higher level abodes have higher population densities, which is good because managing the available space on the mountainside is a key game mechanic. There has been a lot of hullabaloo about the facts that buildings are not rotatable in Laysara. There are some classical game engineering reasons why. For example, the land is sloped and the 3D models are sloped to match, so rotating them would require other concessions and blah blah blah. But honestly, it's kind of good that they aren't allowed to rotate, because it makes for an interesting Tetris-like challenge of fitting all the things into the available space. Houses are 2x2 on the grid, but other buildings are 3x2 or even larger. The various plateaus are not square, and their jagged edges mean that you can't always get what you want. Another interesting game mechanic is how the roads in the buildings interact. There are free roads, which are slow, and then 2 more expensive roads, which are faster. By using the more expensive roads, your production and distribution buildings have more reach, but these roads come with an ongoing maintenance cost. Keeping your treasury topped up is accomplished through the use of donation centers, which are also subject to this roadway mechanic. Placing your donation centers in order to maximize coverage is important. So, while you're trying to manage the available space, deal with the plateaus, and figure out how to transport your goods all around to appease your inhabitants, you also have to deal with the aforementioned avalanches. There are various structures you can employ to combat the inevitable calamities that will befall you come avalanche time, and they have differing levels of protection from the snowy disaster. The caveat to this protection is that it requires space on the plateau, which means you don't have space for other things. And, as I found out, on some map scenarios, the avalanches become more powerful, which means that the tree line you built that was working perfectly just now is not going to cut it, and then you have to employ Mr. Plow to dig out your city, but your treasury's empty, and now you're running a deficit, and, well, that's not any fun. Before I give my final verdict, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share with your friends. Agree with me? Disagree with me? Or want to see other content? Let me know in the comments below. Want to try this game yourself? Check out my humble affiliate link below. And if you want to support me in making more of these videos, become a patron on Patreon. Your support really makes a difference. The final verdict. I love city builders. I really do. I've played quite a lot of them, and I'm always trying to find one with a new twist. Laysara's use of restricted building areas combined with the various transportation mechanics, avalanches, and many other things makes for a pretty fun experience. However, it does end up feeling a bit mechanical and formulaic. Build this so you can build that, and then you can build the next thing, and so on and so forth. But is that really that different than any other city builder at the end of the day? On my trademark 3-point score scale of avoid, meh, and I forgot to eat, I didn't break the 10-hour mark with this one, but that's certainly not because it's bad. Maybe it's just a little too restrictive, or it's too hard to rearrange your city when you realize you've done it wrong, but maybe it's just a neat city builder that's worthy of you giving it a spin. And besides, there's cheese, honey, and even smoked goat meat. Yum.